Inspired by sound.
Lately I'm getting lost in you. You got me doing things I never thought I'd do. I never spent so long on a losing battle. Lately giving up don't seem to matter. Every day I'm
Ladies and gentlemen, I should like to invite you from your sofas, your back gardens, and your dining room tables to another Inspired by Sound under lockdown conditions this fine day, wherever you happen to be listening in whichever part of the world. It's kind of a special one, this one. It's another artist spotlight. We've been a long time in the making for this, and it's my pleasure, once I root them in, to invite into the studio today, albeit remotely because social distancing is a thing, Louis and Liv from the north of England. Nice to have you along with us. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hello there.
Good to be here.
So, the trope, of course, is pie, chips and gravy, yes or no?
No.
No.
All right, you're shockingly not northern. These people are fakes. Everybody don't go and subscribe. Actually, do. I'm kidding. You're hearing the wonderful voice of Liv Elwood in the background at this time. And Louis, the player. Now, this is great because Louis's first name is my last name, and therefore Louis is a good person.
I don't want
And it's spelled exactly the same.
Yes, it is, and it does cause some confusion in some of the
That's a
WhatsApp groups in which we find ourselves, but it's quite funny, really. But yeah.
It's funny that they still call you Andre Louis and call me Louis.
Do they?
Still, apart from Louis Capaldi.
Despite the
of course.
fact that the spelling is identical.
Well, some people are just born silly, aren't they? What can I say? I will say, however, though, that this is great to have you along, and you are the first, by the way, two-person artist spotlight on the show. So you are the first. Look at that.
Yeah.
Also the first this year. It's 2020.
Well done us. We did it.
I know. It's April the 20th of 2020
Also,
now. but-
yeah.
It actually is as well. It's this.
Are we
month
technically the
really,
first
really
Northerners as well?
Yes. So there is that.
Whoa.
I know. It's quite
But
something.
yeah, it's been an interesting year so far. It's been chaos. I think that's the best way of looking from the year up. Chaos.
Yeah, I think none of this was expected. None of this was planned for by any part of the world, and we have to just sort of go with the flow, I think, and albeit weird, but we will. So for you listeners outside of this particular virtual studio in which we find ourselves, the card that were kicked in at the very beginning of the video will take you to this track, and you can hear it for yourself. And there are a couple of others to come throughout. So, question one then. How are you? Because that is just the most important thing I could ask you right now.
Yeah, and you did it exactly as the track ended. I'm impressed.
Well, you know, I've got to do a thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. Thank you. I'm very good, personally speaking.
No, he's always already well.
That's the way, isn't it?
Apart from obviously when people get my name wrong and call me Lewis, which is mildly offensive.
I'm very
Please
bugged by
don't do
this.
that to me.
I'm very bugged by this. There is a guy, by the way,
Yes.
Louis, I don't know if you know, there's a guy on YouTube called Louis Rossman, and his name is pronounced Lewis, even though it's
Oh.
spelt the correct way. He pronounces it, as far as I'm concerned, the incorrect way. And he's an Apple Mac
Yeah,
repair
agreed.
specialist guy.
Oh dear.
I find this very distasteful.
Sorry,
I mean, he is American,
Yeah, I
so
mean-
maybe he's to be forgiven for that, but Louis Rossman?
I was going to say, yeah, there is that. It's always the Americans that call me Lewis, and that's not me trying to be rude. That is just how
It's
it
a
is,
simple
I'm afraid.
fact. It's one of those unfortunate facts of life.
Anyway,
but, yeah.
I'd like to throw the question that you asked me nimbly over to Liv and ask Liv, how are you?
How are you?
I am very well, thank you. Apart from people coming in and out, but I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I'm fine. Not bad, thank you. How are you?
Do you know what? Apart from this lockdown, this is day 44, by the way, of me being in my own house. Day 44.
Innit?
But I'm surviving. I think that's the most
Oh, is it
important
44
thing.
now?
Just gotta survive. What else can
Yeah.
one do?
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah, a big
Yeah,
part of
I'm
the
not
lockdown.
gonna
really.
lie, yeah. It's quite difficult, but it's just the way it
Yeah.
is, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We're all in it together. Can't complain.
Indeed.
We're all in it together. I know, and the thing is, what I feel like is that humans have come together in this time in different ways than they have before, and that's a nice thing. Seeing some nice things happening around the world, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a bad
Yeah,
thing.
totally, yeah.
So I suppose the real first question, apart from how are you, which is kind of question 0, question 1, how did you get started and how did you meet? I mean, that's sort of 2, isn't it? So how did you get started in Liv and Louis music?
Yeah,
What
Liv,
about
you can
LCM?
take this one.
We met at LCM.
Yeah, Liv College of Music.
Leeds College of Music.
Not
Obviously,
Liv's College of
convenient
Music or Louis'
situation.
College of Music.
Liv's College of
Leeds.
Music. It's a college
Louis
of
College
music
of
that
Music.
Liv owns.
Goodness gracious.
And it's full of people called Liv.
We met in 2017.
And yeah.
In November.
2017, yeah. November
On
2017.
the, I think it was like the 10th
The
of
11th,
November.
if you want to be specific.
Yeah.
Say again?
I think like the 10th was it of November? The 11th of November, something like that.
11th.
11th of November.
Yeah. Saturday the 11th. At about 10:30. Like
I don't know how I
people got
remember
it
that, but I
very well.
remember it really well.
That's
Um,
funny. Of all the dates,
Facebook.
why was
On the
it
first
Saturday and
question
why were you at
afterwards.
college on a Saturday?
Because we used to go to a Saturday music class on a obviously on a Saturday, of course, it's Saturday music school, and we were conveniently put together by the teacher. And I remember the first question I ever asked you, Lou, was, "Oh, you're blind, aren't you?" That was my
it
first
was
Did you
question.
just sort of
I
smell
was.
it on
That's my
him or
first
something?
question.
How do you?
Yeah. It's a good question.
So,
Now. I don't know how you knew this.
I think I've been told by somebody. I can't remember. I think I've been told that you were blind, and I thought, is this the Louis that I've been told about, or is it somebody else? But yeah, it was you.
Amy told you as well.
Yeah, someone who works at Guide Dogs told, I guess, us both about each
Well,
other.
for
If that
both
makes
of us.
sense.
Yeah,
some
there was a lovely moment. There was a lovely moment earlier on in the year. I think it was like June or something, when I decided I wanted to come to the Saturday music school, and we went in June to this like open day for that. I distinctly remember sitting in the cafe bar and my mum saying to me, "Oh yeah, I think that's Olivia over there. Do you want to go speak to her?" And me, because I was very shy, went, "No, not really.
I remember.
No thanks."
I remember that. I remember. I think I was
So-
halfway on. I think I was waiting for a friend, and I had my phone in my hand. I remember, and I remember you telling me about this later on. Yeah, that was weird.
But on
So
that day,
you-
though, what happened?
Yeah.
So you're sat there on your phone.
I can't remember what I was doing, but I was sat on my phone. I think
That's
I had
typical
my
me
phone
as
in my
well,
hand
sitting
and
on
my
a phone. That's
headphones
what I
in.
do.
I had my headphones in, I remember. And your mum came over and she goes, "Are you Olivia?" I'm just like, yeah. Who are you? She's like, "Oh, I'm Louis' mum." I'm just like, "Okay, hi." I didn't know who you were at the point. I'd
Yes,
never met
the
you. so I
awkward
was like, okay.
parenting. Oh dear. Gotta love it.
It was
That
really
happened,
awkward.
yes.
And then I sort of realised, oh.
Kind of my
okay.
fault.
And then I remember what Amy said about you. I was like, oh, okay, I think I know who you mean. Hi, nice to meet you. Little did I know that I'd end up getting with you.
And also,
later
help.
on. Yeah.
Also, why didn't he come over and say hello to me in person? What a rude... Yeah.
Well,
What have you done? What have you done?
No.
dunno.
And then we... Obviously, we've been together for two and a bit years. Because there's no round number to say, so we'll say 2 and a bit. Yeah. And then we sort of just... Did you ask me to do piano for you at an open mic, didn't you? It was like an open
Yeah, I
mic
think
thing
you
that the
messaged
college
me
was
to do
doing.
piano for me at an open mic at LCM.
Yeah,
Leeds College of
very
Music,
nervously,
like a
I'm
festival
told.
or something. And I remember I'd been quite nervous about asking you because I wasn't sure if you'd think it was weird or anything. So I thought I'd just take it anyway and ask you. if you
I
liked
didn't.
it.
But it's a musician thing. We're supposed to be asked to
So,
do
yeah.
things. Otherwise, what's our whole point in life? You know.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
true. That's a good point.
We are
So
at
we
your
did
beck and
that,
call and all that.
And yeah, and it's funny because it was actually during rehearsals for said open mic that we got together. So that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, because I randomly just sort of said, kind of like you. Just that really, really awkwardly. And then I remember a
Did
staff
we
walked
get
into the room,
together?
I remember.
Oh yeah, the guy who was sort of supervising getting back because he'd left. He went out for like a minute to go do something, and
And he okay,
that's when it happened. Came back in literally as it ended.
Very good. Good timing.
It was very
It's
awkward,
always
but
the way,
it
isn't it?
kind of worked as well. Yeah.
I'm
mean,
not
it
even
worked.
surprised, actually. I'm not even. That's the way of the world. A lot of the time, things happen just when you least expect it. So not only are you a couple, but you're a group together, or a duo, I should say. And have you actually gigged together yet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Once.
Once, yeah.
Oh no, technically twice.
Technically twice at LCM, but yeah.
So count
a proper
LCM,
gig
'cause we
was
did-
when we were in Bradford.
Yeah, called the Highfield, which I played a couple of times. Mainly doing drummer stuff actually, because I also play drums.
Yeah.
But people seem to take you more seriously as a musician. I find when you say, "Oh, I play
Exactly.
piano."
Exactly.
So there was that.
Right.
Um,
I'm sorry. Genuinely, I'm really sorry.
so there was that. And then we played this gig in Bradford, and then we were going to play a more gig to the point where I even got some gear in. It's like, oh, see what we're going to need to be able to use complete control and stuff live. And
Yeah,
then
I
Corona
remember.
happened, so
Yeah, the coronavirus.
Did you ever give it a stern talking to? Like, you've completely stopped my life in its tracks. How very dare you?
you've ruined everything,
I think
coronavirus.
everyone's been saying that for the past couple of weeks. Wouldn't you agree?
Everyone's shouting at the coronavirus. Oi,
There's no hashtag clap for Corona
Aware.
here. Nope. Sorry.
no.
It's all a bit
But
weird,
no,
though.
so all the gear is there, we're ready.
I remember helping you with it as well. I remember sort of suggesting some bits and pieces that you might find useful and to buy. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
It was a good
And
long
it's like,
conversation.
yeah, I've got
that
it all in, I've got it all. Yeah. And then it's all there. It's all in. It's in a box next to me actually, half of the gear, and then the keyboard in another room because there's no room in here. But it's all here, and it all works. But we just.
But that's
can't
all it does.
utilize it right now. which is a shame.
Yeah.
We can't use it at the
Yeah,
moment, can we? Because
At the moment,
Fire
anyway,
it.
it just sits there.
and stuff like that.
It's funny because
Yeah.
the last time I left
Well,
my house was
hopefully when
actually
it-
for a gig as well. It was March the 7th and it was a Saturday. And I remember it with fondness because I was actually outside my house. Oh my God.
Remember them days when
Remember
you could
those
actually
days?
leave
Yep.
the house?
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's a thing that we can say now. It's just,
I know.
you know,
I mean,
to,
it's
you know,
kind
all
of
our younger
ridiculous.
cousins and
Think
stuff.
about it. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Listen here, youngster. Back in my day, you could actually leave your house.
That
No,
seems like a
okay.
lifetime
But we
ago,
all
and it's
tell
weird
our-
because watching a TV program where people were outside today, the first thing I wanted to do was tell them to get the freaking side and home. Go, go, go.
Social distancing is a thing. What are you doing?
No, I don't know what's happened to the world really. But I think,
Yeah, well, hopefully we can all look back on it soon.
and laugh about it. I doubt that very much. Yeah. But look, more importantly, what has lockdown done for your music, and how is it going to change the way that you make music going forward? Because I think people really want to know that kind of thing and where they can find you. Of course, this is all going to be in the video description, but you know people just don't read those.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're
Yeah,
all
'cause we had
both
an
guilty
EP,
of that.
didn't
All three of us are guilty of that.
Yeah.
No,
Guess
I
we're
read them
gonna find
very
maximum
much on purpose because I write them and I write essays for my video descriptions and I know the value of reading them. So I get annoyed when people don't.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Good point. And when I can recommend, by the way, for anybody watching right now, and I know there's a fair few of you, read on the descriptions because they're worth reading. Honestly, I've read some. They're really good.
I think sometimes when I'm doing a
for
video,
example,
it
you can
takes me
start with this
longer
video,
to write the
take one
description because I'm getting links for all the products than it does to actually make the freaking video. I mean, come on. And then someone will ask me on
So
Twitter,
read 'em.
what was that sound that you used there? My face. If you saw my face.
Well, if only I'd written it down.
But yeah, what's it going to do for music? I mean, you can still make music because the internet is a good thing.
Well, we had an EP sort of.
Wait, but
on the
I'll let you
cards,
take
didn't
this one.
we? At one point.
We did.
We sort of had an EP.
We did have an EP, which is now,
And
yeah, it's
I
now
think we
kind
were
of
going to
doing
try and get
nothing
that
with itself.
published, and released and sort of polished up and everything. Or, we were going to try and do it in July or June, but obviously that's completely out of the window now. We can't do that anymore because of
Yeah,
the virus.
it's going to be
So
like
that's all completely gone out the window.
fiddly to record and stuff. We've got one song recorded, which I am mixing at the moment.
Nice,
Yeah.
very nice.
So there is that. But
I
that's
think my
it.
vocal is actually quite good on that as well, actually.
Oh, it is. It is good.
I've got quite a good
Been
vocal on
listening to it all day today.
I'd
So.
like to get it sort of out there. I want people to hear it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this
so
is
it's
what we
a case
need
of
right now.
me hurrying up.
During these times, I think this is the kind of thing we need. We need music, and for people that can see visual art, just something to stimulate the brain, because if we don't give them that, and as
Yeah.
creators, it's our job to do that, people would just go stark raving mad. So, yeah, I'm in agreement with this.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll be out. It'll probably just end up being a single, but hopefully that'll be out soon. We've got no end of
Hopefully
time to
soon.
do it now, so
Exactly.
Well, maybe
it's nearly
maybe
there.
at some point you could put a 30-second or 15-second sneak preview on the channel. I think people would like that. They won't hear the full thing. They'll come back for more.
Yeah,
I think
we
we did at one
should.
point, didn't we?
That's a fun thing to
I
do.
There
think
is
we did
one
at
on
point, if I
Instagram.
remember.
There is one on Instagram,
I
yeah.
think we also
but
put it on Facebook
we
as well,
didn't.
if I remember.
we tried to make it an Instagram exclusive because we were trying to be cool, but that was a terrible idea.
I can't remember actually. Yeah, well, might have done.
Oh, yes.
Might have done,
An
yeah.
Insta-exclusive.
It was just the shortest thing, honestly. It was like half of a chorus. When you put
Oh,
the
yeah,
fade
it was really small.
fade outs on it.
But that's
But-
the best
Yeah.
way
Like,
sometimes, because if you
little
get the
samples
best part of the
on
track,
there.
people will be like, "Oh, I want to hear more of that," and all they hear is like the tiniest bit of the best, not the best part of the best. So yeah, it's like a slice.
But like
Yeah.
a little fraction of it. Yeah.
Yes. No, it's good. It's a good thing to do. And
So
in
there's
these
that.
times when people have like an idiot's attention span of like 13 and a half seconds, if that, sending them a small clip is good to whet their appetite. So you carry on doing that sort of thing. It does help.
Yeah,
It really does help.
yeah, there is that. So there's that, and we both got home studios of some sort.
Technically,
So
yeah. I've got like
yeah,
I've got some
Uh,
equipment now as well. Louis recommended some equipment for me.
yeah,
I've got a decent mic finally. I've got an SM58 Shure. I've got a good interface.
Yeah.
And some decent headphones.
yeah. Tell us what the
And a
interface
Mac.
is.
Yes,
and a
tell
Mac,
us.
of course. You can't forget the Mac.
No, we're all three Logic users.
I
That's
have
the point.
What?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all Logic Pro users.
But yeah, the interfaces are in my case 18i20, Liv's case 2i2,
2i2?
both from
Yeah.
Focusrite. Both
It's a
there.
good interface. That is good choice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's you ever thinking about buying Focusrite stuff? Louis and Liv recommend Focusrite.
Okay.
Focusrite,
then.
if you'd like to
Definitely.
sponsor Louis and Liv, get in touch.
Nice.
That would actually be kind of cool. I mean, I recommend Native Instruments products myself. I'm sort of an endorser. Yeah, that. But
Oh, we use them too. Don't worry, we use them
yep.
Yeah, Louis uses an eye for mixing.
all the time.
Yeah. All the time.
As we've
Yeah.
already said, Complete Control we're going to be using live, but only because we also use it in the studio. For example, on that track you heard at the beginning, the piano on that was, I want to say the Maverick.
Might have been.
Yeah,
was it
yeah,
Alicia's
Maverick, I
keys?
think. Yeah. No, Alicia
it
Keys is
Alicia's
on a
keys?
lot of our stuff, but no, not that one.
I really love Alicia's Keys piano. It just sounds normal.
It
It
is
just sounds
nice.
like a proper piano.
It is very
sounds
nice.
really, really nice. In case you weren't sure, by
it
the
is
way,
very
Alicia's
nice.
Keys to what Alicia Keys uses on her album, The Element of Freedom.
This is true.
So,
Yeah.
The one
no,
thing
no,
about
piano,
that
it's
is
all
that
the
you
plugin.
there's two sides to this coin, and I will talk about this from a sort of composer and live player often. Is that if you use something all the time, people will know that's your sound. But if you use something all the time, people will know that's your sound. Do you see what I mean? One,
yeah.
Yeah.
familiarity breeds contempt. But two, people are comfortable with what they hear from you. So sometimes you've got to spice it up a little.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but just occasionally. And I know this from playing out with a lot of people and doing different vocal works. And I work with a lot of vocalists. I don't use the same sound on all vocalists.
Yeah.
And it's a good job too.
Oh no, we don't use the same sound on
Because
all covers.
it would be kind of like
Original.
I would be 4 or 5 timing these vocalists with the same piano. And I don't think they would like that very much. And if they heard each other's material produced from my house,
that's true.
they would get cross.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
But no, I
something to
think
think about.
sometimes we mix it up. It's most of the stuff that's on our YouTube channel is Louis's key, but then there's quite a few with the grandeur. Like I say, a lot on you in Maverick. There's one gentleman cover that we did, which is
That's
Oblivion
Jar of
by
Hearts, I
Bastille.
wanna say.
Cover about with the gentleman. No, Jar of Hearts actually with the giant. Thanks for that.
The Giant.
Oh, was that? Oh, fair enough.
It's a great grand sounding
Jar of
name, that
Hearts.
piano,
the
isn't
guest-
it?
The giant. Yeah, it
It's
suits
huge.
it, I think.
Yeah, it's
It
quite a
suits
big
the
sound.
sonic that you get from it.
And for those who don't know it,
It's
you have
also
to
on
look it
our
up.
yeah. If you check out our latest cover of Half the World Away, which was
Half the world away.
it was the only song that we did in December last year. It's like Christmas song, and it's like, oh, this song's in the John Lewis advert. That counts, right? So we did it. We
Yeah,
didn't
but you
do
think about
We
that.
could
this
put
song
a
that was
poll
out
out
that
on Twitter,
year.
and that won
We
it.
should have done.
Actually,
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it did.
we put
So
a
we had to
poll
do
out.
it.
Yeah, and I think that song
We
won
did.
followed closely by Last Christmas.
It's funny because
Yeah,
if
and
you
then
think about
followed
Half
by
a World
Can't Find
Away,
This Place.
it's very possible that a lot of the people that listen to this might or will be half a world away from us. You never know.
Good point.
Literally.
And the thing is, with lockdown being what
But
it is,
in
it kind of
exactly the
feels
same
like that.
situation.
Yep.
Yeah. So in which case, I think given that, you should go check that out. I'm on the Louis and Liv YouTube channel because it's there and it's near the top. It's like the third video done. So I would recommend, well, as of right now anyway. So I would recommend going to have a look at that. It's got the giant on it.
The
Which means it
Giant.
must be good, right?
You've got to pause for gravitas when you say that.
It might have
Every
brown
time.
on it as
Every
well.
time you say it from now on, you've got to pause for a bit, like half a second, and then say it in a particular voice, and then carry on like nothing happened. It's
I
important.
mean, I don't have a deep voice, so I can't carry it off as well as you can.
But you can pretend. There's a feel about it. It's got
The
the giant on it, and that's fine. Absolutely, yeah, fine. It's great. Good. It's got that kind of thing about it. I don't know. It's fine.
I'm sorry, I can't hear anything.
It is nice.
Yeah, no, it's good. But yeah, I mean, pianos are funny things because, like, explaining to somebody who doesn't use software why you need all these same things, but they sound different. And I think a lot of people don't quite get that fact.
Yeah.
One piano is not like another piano.
I have 9 now. And yeah, I got the 9. I got all the NI ones plus this piano from Spitfire Audio Labs, which is free.
Yikes, that thing is
So-
so
somehow in the
beautiful. That thing should
It
not
is
be as
very
nice as it is.
We haven't
I mean,
used that yet
wow.
on any of our stuff, but we should.
I think there'll be an opportunity.
But,
I mean,
yeah.
particularly if you do something soft and thoughtful, that piano will work wonders. And for those of you who don't know, go visit spitfireaudio.com/labs. Get the soft piano in your collections today. It is free. You need it in your life yesterday. Thank you. This has not been endorsed.
It is not.
By
You can also
Spitfire.
check out Piano Participation from Andre, which features it. It's very good.
Yeah, it does too. It does too. But we're here to talk about you, and I got to say that at the time of creating this post, you have
I would say,
46
yeah.
YouTube subscribers. 46. By the time that you listeners listen to this
Whoa.
podcast, I expect that number to be 50. And you can leave your subscriber number in the comment, and I'll make sure that these guys keep checking it out, pushing that number through
Absolutely.
the roof,
Yeah.
Please
just where it
do.
belongs.
Thank you very much. I
Come
really
on.
appreciate that.
So, Liv, I suppose a question to you directly,
Yeah, it'd
since
be
you
nice.
are the one who sings and Louis doesn't, because I think if Louis sings just like me, he'd probably break glass. How did you get into singing in the first place?
Agreed.
Oh, probably when I was about 3 or 4, I started to sing a lot all the time. I used to, I guess I've always liked singing. I've always sort of felt confident singing in front of people. And I guess when I started to work and collaborate with Louis, I guess it got stronger because I was able to do more stuff because we had a lot of stuff in common. And we've got our YouTube channel, and Yeah, it's all worked out really, really well. I enjoy it a lot.
That was your idea, by the way, for the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I remember saying one day, yeah, shall we create a YouTube channel to try and get more sort of, I guess more noticed, if that's the right word, more noticed, and
Yeah.
I think it's worked well in our favour, to be honest. I think it's, had
Yeah,
quite
it's
a
been
good
great.
impact on us.
It's our little project that we've done. And obviously, Louis Capaldi's seen it, so there is that.
Yeah,
yeah.
that is actually
That's
quite
an amazing
impressive.
thing,
Even
that.
I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah.
Can people
For
see
those
this
of you
on
who
your
don't
channel?
know Louis Capaldi.
Pardon, sorry?
Yeah, they can.
They should be able to see it on the channel, yeah.
Yes, it is.
I think, did you put it
On the
a couple of days
homepage, I
ago now?
believe.
On the homepage?
Yeah, it's on there
Yeah.
now. Yeah,
Um,
in fact,
so
if
it's
you go to
11
our
seconds
page,
long.
it's set up now. Yeah, 11 seconds of Scottish
Louis
goodness.
Capaldi.
If you search for us on the web and access YouTube on the web, as soon as you go on our channel, you will see it and hear it.
And hear it.
I remember, Louis, you
Which
kept
is
me in
wonderful.
suspense all day waiting for that as well. Because I was out doing something and you said,
Oh,
I've got
yeah,
something
but
to
it
show you, and you wouldn't tell me until we're on the phone, and that's what it was.
I think that's cool.
It was worth it though. I'm glad I did
Thanks
that.
for that. Thanks,
So
Dave.
would you
I got
say
it though. Like
that
I was in bed.
you say that's the kind of the highlight so far of Louis and Liv music, or Liv and Louis music? Depends on who goes first.
Louis.
I always think that ladies should go first, myself, but
Yeah. I guess if when we said it was like Louis and Liv music.
But yeah, I think that
Okay.
definitely.
But,
one of
I'd
the
say-
highlights. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say it was pretty unbelievable. Could we just put that cover out? And we have put another one out of Louis Capaldi's song called "Someone You Loved."
Someone you loved.
Put
yeah.
that out as well. And that went nowhere. And I'm not really surprised because I listened back to it today and the mix is appalling. I
don't
did
think
terribly
I
at
think
that.
it was pretty good, and I think that was out after it as well. I think, yeah, after Someone You Love, I think that came.
I'd locked on you before "Someone You Loved." I can't remember now.
I don't know. I'll have to go and have a look.
Anyway, we
I can't
put that one
remember.
out and it went nowhere. We
No.
put "Someone You Loved" out, it went nowhere. And then suddenly, like 11:30, I got a
Days later,
message
I think
from.
it was.
Yeah, at like 11:30 at night, I got a message from a friend of mine, just going, "Hi, my sister saw Louis Capaldi in Hamburg and got you this," and I nearly screamed.
I can understand that. I think that is
It was-
like
it was
an
very-
amazing
Where did
thing.
this come
It was
from?
very
What
impressive.
happened?
I shall have
So
to
then
show
I
my
thought,
wife
right,
that message.
I can have a message now. I can have a message Liv now, or I can just keep her in suspense. So I decided on the latter because I thought I can't miss this opportunity. It's never going to happen again.
I remember I had an open day at university as well the following day, so I couldn't actually speak to you until the evening.
Oh, that was it. Yeah.
But it was a big surprise when you actually told me about it. When you told me about it, it was really good.
The funniest thing is that I feel bad for possibly embarrassing your mum at this point, but you played it to your mum and she went, "Oh, lovely," and you went,
Who's
"You don't know who it is, do you?" No
No.
idea.
That's terrible.
And then you played her "Someone You Loved" and she went, "Oh my God, it's
It's him.
oh, well done, good that."
Yeah.
That's just
Facebook
not
time.
kind of the response you want, is it? Come on now.
No.
Mum, be a bit
Right.
more excited, please.
Nobody else did that.
Oh no.
Yeah,
everyone
nobody else did
knew
that
it
when
was.
we told them. Sorry, Lindsay. I feel bad for embarrassing you now.
Nah. I don't think she'll be that asked, but I don't think she'll be bothered, to be honest.
Oh, I love him, I do.
I think it's good though that you get
Yeah,
someone
well,
like that.
yeah.
It kind of makes you motivated to continue writing, doesn't it? And to keep doing what you're doing. I
Oh,
think
hell yeah.
that's kind
Yeah,
of what
there's
you want
nothing
from
better.
this sort of thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Totally.
So, are we
Thanks,
going
Lewis.
to hear something more from you during lockdown? I mean, are you going to try and do something together? I mean, one of you sings to a click. Stuff can happen.
We are going to try. I
I'd
think,
certainly
yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
We are
we
gonna
can
try,
definitely
yeah.
Work remotely with Dropbox.
Or sometimes you don't even have to sing to a click.
No, not
No.
even.
No, like one of our songs that we did,
Yeah.
I used a backing track from Spotify, I think it was, and I put it into Logic, and I sang with that, and that worked well.
Yeah, there was no click. And
No.
You'll hear it at some point during the during
the,
this podcast.
Yeah,
You'll hear
the
it.
songs in this podcast.
Is it your
which
song
one is
that's
it?
coming, or is it
Find
the one
out.
at the end? What have you
The one at the end.
decided?
It's the one at the end.
Oh, right.
The
Well,
one at the
then.
end.
After this, though, I think we will actually
Hi.
switch to a song because it will be good and people can go have a drink,
Yeah.
go bathroom, and start subscribing to your
Yeah.
channel, which you will find in the description. You are to click it immediately. Thank you. And follow them
We
on
will
all the
make us
socials.
very happy.
All the socials. Because that's just like what you do.
We're Louis and Liv Music everywhere.
At Louis and Liv Music Twitter, Louis and Liv Facebook, and Louis and Liv Music on YouTube.
That's the way.
Instagram.
Well, I tell you, it's nice to chat, and I think it's very important that music plays a part in our lives. As a musician myself, being
definitely.
stymied
Oh, yeah.
at home, being unable to
Yeah.
go out and gig, I'm kind of fed up. But at the same time, I shouldn't be, because I have the interwebs. And the interwebs brings me
Yeah.
great people and great
Yeah.
music, so it is what it is.
If we didn't have that, I don't know what we'd do as
Go stuck
a
crazy.
nation or a world.
No. You see, if this
Yeah,
had
yeah,
happened
yeah.
20, 25 years ago, before you guys were born, that's a different thing. But imagine if you were. Pre mostly good internet, it would have been a very different landscape out there right now.
Yeah. No chance of us working on stuff remote, or very little.
Very little.
Oh yeah, no, we'd have no chance. Absolutely no chance.
Hello, Liv. I've just sent you the latest cassette in the post.
And if you're
can you
lucky, it
record
won't chew
cassette
up.
Two, please.
Have this
Yeah.
white flag from Louis and Liv Music. And we'll be back on the other side of this
Whoa.
one.
I know you think that I shouldn't still love you, but I'll tell you that. But if I didn't say it, would I still have felt it? Then where's the sense in that? I promise I'm not trying to make your life harder, but it's harder where we were. I will go down with this ship, and I will put my hands up in surrender. There will be no white flag above my door. I'm in love, always will be. I know I left too much mess and destruction to come back again. Oh, I caused nothing but trouble. I understand if you can talk to me again. And if you live by the rules that it's over, then I'm sure that makes sense. I
Liv and Louis music. Louis and Liv music.
And there we go.
Music and Livy Louis. It's all good. But you know what?
Just put the words in any order that you like. It works anywhere, really.
Indeed.
Music from Liv and Louis. It's all good.
There you go.
I enjoyed
I
that.
think where it's coming from.
And I haven't heard that version. What I did is because I had the tracks given to me prior to the show, but I decided I wasn't going to listen until during the show, and that way I have, my first reaction. And I like that song anyway, so I think you really killed it. And that is to say, killed it in a good way equals nailed it, and I liked it. I really like the production. I really like the production.
Nice.
It's got a good feel to it, and yeah, really nice. Good wear.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad you like.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it.
What do you
That's sort of
feel?
the first time we've sort of played with it.
Yeah. I think, and the thing is, you come back to something in a while, in like a year or two, and you go, "What? Oh wow, I could probably touch that up." But the thing is, like I know from composing myself that if I go back and touch something up that I've marked as finished in my head, it's hard to go back and do that. It's my baby. I don't really want to do it. I want to become better. I don't really want to touch up old stuff. So, I don't know.
Well,
if
you'll
you
never
feel the
finish
same.
touching it up.
Yeah, and that can be a problem with us musician types.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Because like I listened to all our covers the other day, just went through them, and it was like, I want to change a bit. I've still got the project power for these. Should I mix them and re-poet them? And then I thought no, because it's sort of like it's a moment, isn't it?
It's a moment in
It's a
time.
moment
It's a
in
time
time.
capsule of what you were, not what you currently are. But always
Yeah.
strive to, always, of course, strive to be better. Now, if there are people, bedroom producers like us, or in my case, the living room producer, because I take over my family's living room with my gear, and they want to start posting their stuff online, but they're maybe too nervous to do it, or what would you say to them? What would you suggest to these people?
I would probably say, to be honest, I wouldn't be nervous if I were you, because if you're nervous about people putting bad comments on your stuff, I don't think you're going to be able to please everyone. No one's going to be pleased all the time. But just try not to let the negativity get to you, because if you do, it will just knock you down, and that's not right. That's not right at all.
Yeah, because just post something. Because, like, for example, we started off with a Yamaha PSRE 353 keyboard, for those of you that care about model numbers. I'm
Yeah,
one of
we
them.
did. In fact, I think our first couple was
Which we
Aerosmith.
still have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Aerosmith, and then another one was a mashup of These Days, Happier, and
See you again.
See You Again. Now, that keyboard is still in the Louis and Liv family, which is good.
It's in my house now, though. It's
But,
currently next. It's
Yeah.
in my house.
But it's like, we could have gone, oh no, it's not a good enough sound, it's not, we've not got a good enough setup, we've only got GarageBand on the iPad, we can't do it, we don't have the right stuff, it sounds awful, we can't mix, there's far too much reverb on this, so on. But if we did that, and we waited, we wouldn't have posted anything.
Exactly.
So, I think it was important that we just went, do you know what, it sounds good, okay, it's not perfect, but it sounds good, we can play and sing together.
Yeah.
It sounds good when we do it together. Let's just post it.
I feel like once you start posting as well,
And
you'll
then-
become more confident as well.
Yeah, totally.
like,
because
after
you
our
change,
posts,
then like, cause we then went from that to the Logic built-in piano,
Yeah.
and then we went from that to the Gentleman, and then we went from that to Elise's keys, which we're still using, and all the others,
In
And
fact,
you
I
just
think our first
like-
built-in piano was One More Sleep. The Christmas
yeah,
song,
and then
I
just
think that was
all
our
the
first.
Christmas stuff that we did. All the
It
real
wasn't
Christmas
Logic.
songs, not half the world away. All the real Christmas songs that we did. They're Logic's built-in Yamaha Grand Piano.
Which I think
we
is
thought at the
terrifying
time
personally,
was
but
the-
don't tell anyone.
Well, we thought it was the best thing ever at the
It
time.
does sound cool though. I
And to be
think. I
fair-
think it sounds good.
Yeah, it works for like. I'm glad that we thought that, because otherwise we might have gone, no, we need to wait until we got NI, which I was getting complete a complete control S61 that Christmas, and I could have gone, no, we need to wait for that. We need to wait until we have.
It comes back
better
to this
piano
whole
sound
time
or
capsule
whatever.
thing, though. You post what you have when you have it. And
Yeah.
I would have, if you'd have said that to me at the time, I would have said, you use what you have because you don't miss what you don't have. So even though I don't like that piano, and I have reasons not to because we have better. If you don't have better, you deal with what you have.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's the way of it.
Yeah. And we posted it, and to be fair, the important part is about those early videos is the performances are good. Okay, there's mistakes in them, and me and Liv are, we always criticise our own work, as it were. So Liv will say that her vocal was terrible on that song, and I'll say my piano was terrible on that, and she'll say, no, it was better, it was brilliant, and I'll say, your vocal is brilliant. No, yes, no.
Yeah, it's like a
But
pantomime act.
The truth is, the performances are good. We're good at it. And
Musicians,
we know that.
we are our
You have
own
to admit
worst
that to
critics,
yourself.
and that's just the way of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to have
like,
moments in life,
admit
yeah,
that,
and it's
the performance is good.
what I call musicians' arrogance. You have to have moments in life where you wake up one day and you listen to something you did either yesterday or yesteryear, and you go, "Freaking hell, that was bloody good, wasn't it?" Because if you don't, no one else is going
Yeah.
to. You have to have those
Exactly.
moments, and they're good for you. They're a balm to the soul because
Yeah.
what they do is they prove to yourself that you are actually capable, and that's important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Yeah, because I look back at those old videos, and it's like, even if the sounds aren't, the best by some people's standards, the sort of general public, as it were, probably hasn't noticed and just likes the performance.
Yeah, and they probably won't notice,
So
to be
just
fair.
just
People
post.
listen in a different way than we listen,
Yeah.
and we wrote the stuff, so of course we're super
Yeah.
critical.
Yeah, and then it's like, even now that we own all this stuff, we can go back and go, oh, okay, maybe it's not as good as this. But then there were still bits of the hardware that I liked. The hardware Yamaha, there's still sort of bits of that I like. There's still bits of the Yamaha Grand Piano that I like. There's still, I'm sure you'll love the amount of reverb that are on your early vocals.
I like to
'Cause there's
perform with
no
a lot of
end of it.
reverb because I think it sounds better with reverb, but then actually when you mix it, I think, take the reverb down. That sounds really, really weird, but that's just the way I am.
But we didn't know
But
that
it
at the
works for me.
time. And we were doing it in GarageBand on the iPad, and we didn't realise that you could actually turn it back down again. So we didn't. We just left it as we just left it as was, and it's on the piano as well. So it's basically in a small cave, I think, everything until we got
funny.
Logic, and it's like you can hear on our Stay Another Day cover. It's like, oh my God, we can do harmonies and we can copy and paste. Let's do it. Let's do more effects. Let's double
I
track.
think we actually
Let's just
spent
try
an
everything
afternoon
because we
doing it the
can.
other day. I think we
Yeah,
spent an afternoon,
But we knocked it out in
experimenting
about
with
2
different
or 3 hours.
effects. Exactly.
Yeah. Harmonies, and then I couldn't. There's a bit of a stray note on one of the harmonies, which nobody probably noticed, but I'm saying, if you listen carefully, there's a stray note on one of the harmonies. Why is that not corrected? Because Lou didn't know how to get rid of it and how to punch in at that point. So it's
But
still
you
there.
do now.
Indeed.
Yeah, if we
Exactly.
redid them all now, we could do it, but we're not going to.
Nope.
Time capsule.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because
Yeah,
my
exactly.
children's school has said that while under lockdown, people should make little diaries with audio clips, pictures, and written, of the kids that they are now, and even like a box of, food
Yeah.
packaging, for example, and put it somewhere that they can take it out in 30 years' time. So that's a time capsule of the current moment
Yeah.
in time, and I think music
good idea,
also digitally is that too. So you can look back at this recording
exactly.
in 10, 20 years' time and go, oh man, we've come such a long way. We've made the world stage, or whatever it is you end up doing.
Yeah,
And that's
we'd
progress.
like to do that. That would be
We
fun.
would indeed. It was really nice.
A year from now,
Yeah.
I'd like you to look back at this recording and say, right, well, we had 46 then, we've got 460 now, or 4,060, whatever the case may be, So push forward and progress.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
There's no reason why it can't happen.
Yeah.
You just
Very,
have to be
very nice.
proactive, and you have to push
Yeah.
yourselves in that direction. And it's doable. There's no reason it's
Yeah,
not doable at
exactly.
all.
It is doable.
Yeah,
Definitely doable.
totally, yeah.
I mean, I think as well,
But, you might.
like being blind, and if people, Your friends and family might not know that about me as well. I'm a blind musician, so I speak from experience in that when I started gigging, I had no clue what I was doing. I still really don't, but don't tell anyone. Like, I go out, I play the thing, I come home. And sometimes, depending on the kind of gig it is, if the audience isn't reactive, or if the room is too big to even tell where the walls are and where the audience are, you don't know what it's like. And in my case, playing with a large band, or several large bands, like, unless the band is reactive, I don't know if that solo I did or if that part that I played was worth it. And sometimes you go home in a sort of funk. It's only next day when you see all the Instagram posts of your gig and you hear it back and you hear from a different perspective in the room, actually that was killer. So and you will have a gig like that.
Live gig we did.
I suspect you'll be playing loud places, and loud places are the worst because you don't get feedback from that. And as blind musicians, we case the room in a different way than sighted people case the room. And that's one of the things that really, to this day, I still have trouble with, is knowing how it's being received. But you will have these problems, right? And you're going to go home in the evening and you're going to be upset. But don't be. That's just the nature of the place. It wasn't you. It's me. So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, because, there was the first gig that we did, we had very loud monitors, and I didn't realise. I don't know if you knew, Liv, either. I thought the monitors were very loud.
Yeah.
Coming from you, that's something else, isn't it?
Speakers.
I mean, do you remember when the wrong piano sounded?
And I thought, oh yeah, that LTM gig where we're like, we need to play, we're playing Make You Feel My Love by Adele, which is like our song. We play it at pretty much every gig we'd ever done. And it was the first time we played together, and it was bloody amazing. And that rehearsal room, just saying.
Actually was pretty
Anyway,
good. I've got the recording.
Point being that then we come out to do this open mic thing at LCM, similar, basically what we were rehearsing for, and we come out, sustain pedal's not working on this Korg keyboard that we're using, and I'm there going, no, not working. And it eventually gets it so that it's permanently stuck on sustain. And goes, what sound do you want? Piano. He give me
Oh dear.
a Rhodes sound.
Oh dear.
Is that what it was? A road sound?
It was a Rhodes, yeah, like an electric Fender Rhodes type sound.
I
You're
guess it
hurting
sort of
me.
worked, but it
You're
wasn't.
hurting
It
me.
didn't sound like.
I feel the pain right now.
Right,
It
did
just sounded bizarre. So Imagine by John Lennon, we were playing that as well. Imagine that on the road, but with the sustain pedal permanently held down.
So what you're saying is, imagine, yeah?
It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine the story.
Oh no.
It was a Rhodes with lots of reverb. I think that, it sounded really. It sounded like it was outside, somewhere in the distance, and we know that because we watched the video back, and it just sounded bizarre.
Oh bloody hell.
It was
The
very-
audience loved
was
it though,
very
so.
funny.
Well, this is the thing. A lot of the
it
time,
was,
the audience don't know what on earth just happened. They just came for the music and they got the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this comes back to musicians being critical again. Like, yeah, we know that could have been better, but as long as they enjoyed it and go home at the end of the day having had a good time, that's really what they paid for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, there was the other open mic that we did where I got to play a note, which I think is the first and last time I've ever played a note live.
Oh, those things, yeah.
For a long period of
yeah,
time.
that didn't work though because the pedal
Yeah, and I
went wrong
loved that.
again. Because it went wrong again.
No, it didn't at first, but they rebooted it to
You
be fair,
sure?
and then it worked.
Oh yeah.
That still sounded a bit weird. They gave me a
Whatever,
piano
not
sound though, so I
weird.
had to give them that.
Yeah,
No, they did have a piano sound, so I had to.
They did.
There was an improvement.
they did.
And that was the last gig we ever played at LCM, so it was too
On the
late.
last
really.
day as well, I remember.
Well, the last gig
the
I
last
played
gig,
on
yeah,
March
but
the
no, we
7th
loved
was
Elf.
on someone else's keyboard, and I vowed, by the way, never, if I could help it, to play on anyone else's gear again. So I got to the gig, and I did sound check, and then I got and sat down elsewhere, and I came to do the thing. And the first track I played was just me and the singer. The other ones were with band. But this was a very poignant song, me and the singer. And somehow, don't ask me how, the bass was left and there was a piano right. And the bass was one of those that had a cymbal in it every time you hit a key.
God.
So I'm trying to play chords on this thing, and I can't even stop the song at this point. What can I do? So I just had to plow through the
Good
stupid
Lord.
thing in this way.
Bad.
And I said, even if it
So what
is
did
a
you do?
pain, I had to finish the song. I just had to not play bass in the left
What, so you had all these
chords.
horrible clashing chords?
What I had to do was just play it as if it were a bass in the left hand and chords right, and play the song a bit differently. I mean, on the fly, change it up,
Oh,
man.
dear.
I had no choice. It was mad.
Did you start off by playing a chord on the bass and then go, oh dear?
I
that
think
sounds weird?
so.
Or did you
Or like a
not
spread
realise
chord,
something
like a
minute?
like a CGE type spread on bass, and it was, you know, bassy, very bassy. And I was like, that's not right.
Oh dear.
That's not, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I know what that's like. And there was probably some very obvious
probably
flashing
happen to
light
us
on
at
the
some point.
keyboard that says "Dual mode, hit me," and switch me off. But I didn't see it for some funny reason. I didn't see that. It's a bit of a problem.
No, we have that problem with people not being able to see things.
Yeah, it's this funny thing. I tried putting batteries in the eyes, like my kids said when I was younger. Daddy, put batteries in your eyes; they might work. Didn't ever happen.
Oh, that's kind of
That's
cute,
quite
actually.
cute. If I did
Yeah.
actually say that.
Yeah, they did. I didn't make it up like what you try to
Wow.
say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's actually quite adorable.
And did it work?
bugger, did it work? It didn't do nothing.
Well, if you'd like to help Andre, please send batteries to
Please send batteries. Care
Like
of
music on Twitter.
I think
YouTube.
it's like a double A or something like a double A battery.
Triple A, I think it's a bit thinner.
Put-
The thickness of a
Just
double A
shove-
is a little bit scary.
Just shove the triple A. Shove the triple A in the corner of his eye. It's not working.
Or maybe it's one of those button cell batteries you find
It
in
hurts,
watches
though,
and
after that.
doorbells. Yeah, it hurts.
Still in the darkness.
Yeah, which are near impossible to find.
Oh
Yeah.
man, aren't they just? Bloody hell. it's
Yeah.
weird.
Like you want those things, and you cannot find them anywhere.
I know. Actually, found some on Amazon the other day, and just sort of a plethora of random things. And occasionally, they work for a piece of gear that you didn't know you needed a battery for, like a random pair of kitchen scales, or the wireless doorbell that you think never runs out of battery, but it does because it's a battery. I mean, that's what happens. That's what they do.
I didn't know that had a battery in it.
Yeah, there is that. I thought it was wired to the house. It isn't wired to the house.
Yeah.
I mean, what is wrong with people? But yeah, I mean, what about if you've ever had
is
this, and I
weird.
hope you haven't, ever forgotten anything important to do a gig? Or to go and try and do a recording and something was missing, a piece of cable or anything? Because I tell you, bad.
Not that I can think of at the moment. I'm sure.
You
there
had to
must
use
be
my
one day.
you had to use my awful braille display a couple of times.
Yeah, well, because I needed some song lyrics, and I left my braille display behind, and it was flat, so I had to use Louis, and the dots on his display aren't
It's
very
old.
good. Yeah, it's a very old display,
Very old.
and it just wasn't very good, so I couldn't get the lyrics that I needed.
I mean, it worked.
It worked.
It worked.
That's all
Like,
you
I
can
think
say
this was-
about it is it
This was when we
worked.
were in half the world away.
Well, it,
Yeah, it did. I
Yeah.
mean, you got the wrong lyric, and it wasn't even your fault. It was its fault. That's how bad it
I
was.
left my display behind, so it kind of was my fault.
Well, you
And
won't
I
do that
know
again,
some
will
Your
you?
people-
fault
I
the
never
display was
was
giving
not
you the wrong
sorry.
lyrics.
You're not going to do that again in a
Lesson
hurry.
learned.
It's annoying.
And I remember thinking, I never want to sing or hear that song again because it drove me absolutely mental.
Oh yeah, half the world away was a
Half the
killer.
world away.
It was during that. I'll let you elaborate. 'Cause it was your
Basically, we
pain.
just
You
kept
deserve
having to redo.
talk about that.
We kept having to redo parts of the song because I didn't know the song very well at this time, but we wanted to do it anyway. So I thought I was being really, really clever by singing and reading the lyrics at the same time, and I wasn't because it didn't go very well. And it took about 4 hours to get the whole song done. So
It did, yeah.
yeah, it took a very long time.
I mean, it sounds good if you listen to it, which we recommended earlier in the podcast, and we again.
Yeah, half the
it's
world
rare.
away.
It's got the giant.
Well done.
So
You
that
got
makes it worth it.
the giant
Thank you,
into the sentence.
thank you.
Come on, it's vital. You
So
see,
go-
if I was doing
go
video
have a
for
look
this,
at-
I would
go have
zoom
a
in
look at
on your
Half the World
face
Away.
every time you said that now, just for that one bit.
The gi- yeah, and the music would stop,
Oh, absolutely.
and that's all it would be, is a close up of the face.
Indeed.
But no, that one was long and painful to do because of a braille display and because of,
That's what she said.
I think you just we didn't know the song very well either. So
I don't think any of us knew it very well,
Um,
no.
Well, if it's any consolation, I
We
don't
nearly
know
forgot
either.
a mic for a gig as well.
Oh,
Well,
mics.
just check
Oh, yeah,
our,
I forgot
our
mine.
cover and then you would know it.
That's true. I can't
Yeah, we
argue with
forgot a
that.
mic for big ones.
I just been owned. Thank you. On my own show, been owned. Artist spotlight. Louis and Liv music.
Yeah, we forgot
just
a
been
mic for a
owned.
gig. Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah,
Max. I
Liv
mean,
forgot by accident a 58.
I was about to ask actually
Yeah.
what you use
An
on stage, if
FM58.
you use a 58 on stage, because I know a lot of singers do. And to be honest,
Yes, I
every
do.
time I've gone to a gig, it's very rare that a singer brings their own gear. Most people just expect the venue to have backline and you do your thing. So you actually are organised enough
did.
to carry your own mic? I'm shocked. I'm impressed, but I am shocked.
actually, Yeah.
Because most people just don't give at all.
I did in that.
I personally
I think
don't really
Liv will
like to
agree, but
use
she's
other
had terribly
people's
bad
mics.
experiences with. Yeah. With mics that smell awful.
Yeah, they smell like.
The smell of
I don't
sick.
think.
Like I once had
Yeah.
a mic and it smelled of. Sorry, this is bad, but it smelled of weed. Quite literally.
Right then.
I hope you don't mind me saying that on camera. I'm sorry. Edit it out if you want.
What? No.
But
I
literally.
mean,
I'm not editing anything.
wow.
To be honest, I was
Yeah,
expecting something far
literally,
worse.
that's how
Weed
bad
is
it was.
really not as terrible as people make it out to be. It's just weed. It's better than we.
I thought you were going to say it smelled of poo or something.
Yes.
But yeah, it did smell very nice.
But
and
no.
I'm like, I never want to do that again. Like I sort of made about
So
it.
ever
but
since, you've
always
just
use
taken
my own
your own.
mic. Yeah.
No passive
Yeah.
smoke. No passive mic
And then
smoking.
for me,
you.
I've had. No smoking on stage, please.
No, indeed.
Yeah.
Unless you're the keyboard player, nobody will notice.
Yeah, hidden at
Indeed.
the back like I am.
But
Sorry.
as I've mentioned with the sustain pedal problem that we've had before, I now don't trust, like provided stuff. So I don't get me wrong, I love lead quality music, but that sustain pedal never worked. That keyboard never worked, and I kept using it for some reason. So ever since, I just kept bringing my own sustain pedal, and then eventually, I just thought we may as well bring our own keyboard because nobody else is
Yeah.
using a keyboard, so we kind of have to.
It baffles me
So
that
I
a
wanna
college
get
of
the
music
A61
has a
in.
broken
Yeah.
sustain pedal. Why are you a college of music if you don't have a spare? Or 50 spares?
I just wondered why nobody, no, not to slag them off or anything, but it's a genuine wonder that I have is, why did nobody think, oh, maybe we should test this? You don't even have to be a piano player, just put your foot on the pedal, press one note, if it sustains, it's working.
Especially as there were other acting before us as well. I kind of thought, why wasn't this sorted out before?
That we're using the piano!
Yeah, they were using the piano as well.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
if
it
I-
sounds like we're just
Practice
slagging LCM off,
organised.
but we genuinely, we love them very much. We love them very much.
Well, if I were to make
Yeah.
a guess, a
Yeah,
lot
totally.
of players that play actually don't use a sustain, which I find intolerable. But yeah, a lot of people don't seem to use a sustain when they play. I don't know how you get by without that, especially a piano player.
How?
Organ, I can
How do
understand,
you do that?
because Hammond doesn't allow it. It doesn't even have sustain. But an organ, a piano player, no. If a sustain pedal
how do
doesn't
you do
work,
that?
like mine is pretending not to at the moment, by the way, fighting with that, I get very,
Yeah,
very
coincidentally
annoyed.
enough.
Yes, consequently, because we knew it was probably going to be talked about, so it's
I did.
decided to be quite irritating. So
Yeah, it's a shame.
yeah,
Damn pedals everywhere. Fucking-
well, I've got a spare in the bag, thankfully. But I tell you what, if it doesn't work, I'm going to be very angry. Raw. That's my angry face. It's
Amazon.
You don't
Hold
want
on,
to see
hold
audio
on.
when
You
you're
took it
angry?
there.
it's the giant angry face. Okay, carry on.
I was going to say you're going to do that.
Yes, I am.
Can we have the giant as an emoji or something?
There should be one. Maybe it's Hagrid sized. I don't know. It's an interesting proposition. That
Yeah.
you're a giant, Harry.
The giant, and it's a close up of. You're a giant. I'm a what? You're
A
the
giant.
giant.
You're the,
Harry.
yeah, the giant. I mean, it's not just a giant. It's very
As-
important. You've got to stress the.
The definite article, though.
The definite article, yeah. Bloody mad. Mad
Harry
outside,
Potter
mad.
and the giant. But
And the giant, yeah. It's like James and the giant. Peach. Right?
or
Book,
just James and the giant, and then it just.
books where you
it's
can
just the
replace
adventures of
part of the
James
book title
with
with
the
the
giant
giants,
piano.
people. In the comments, please. Thank you very much. Come on. Got to do something
Yep.
under lockdown.
Yeah, we need them.
Might as well.
Giant must be. You need to indicate somehow in writing the gap that we just put in there for you. So
Well,
it's
there's
for
always ... you know, and
the giant.
you know, the giant goes in all caps and in quotes. It's very, very important.
In caps and in quotes. with
And
an
like I
ellipsis
already
on
said,
each end.
James and the Giant Peach is already a book title, so you can't do that one.
What about James
yeah.
and the Giant, just without the Pete?
Oh no, it's got to be the full book
It's
title, but
The
you've got to
Adventures of
replace
James
part
and
of
his
it.
Piano.
You've got to replace part of it with the Giant.
I want to read Harry Potter and the Giant, just because I want to see where it goes. Is it Harry Potter
And
and,
the Giant of
with
Azkaban?
Native Instruments Piano? Yeah.
The giant house out.
And the
Harry
Giant
Potter,
of
Harry
Fire.
Potter and the Giant
The
Prince.
Giant of Fire would be very scary.
The giant piano is ablaze.
Yeah.
Harry didn't know what to do. The piano was on fire.
Well, there is actually the sound of a burning piano in
Really, the piano
Omnisphere.
was actually playing in the background.
That's good too.
Is there?
Yeah.
Leo, we need to get on this way just to use the burning piano on,
Yeah.
I don't know, Girl on Fire or something.
I would show you, except Logic is currently very busy.
Oh, yeah. Is it busy, or is it just
Oh
busy
no,
doing
it's
things?
just busy doing things. It's thankfully not that kind of busy.
I'm gonna,
That's a sore subject, I think,
I apologize.
because I'm thinking about a gig that I
I
once
apologize
had.
to any guide dog owners out there.
Oh yeah, that too. But I was thinking, well,
Oh,
a
they
gig
don't
I
do
recently
that
had in which I needed a laptop, or I needed my laptop not to be unplugged. And guess what happened? It came unplugged. So I did the sound
It
check.
was unplugged.
I went away. It was in Pizza Express, by the way, but not the one in Woking. Hashtag just saying. And I left my laptop on top of the thing that it was supposed to be on. And somehow, because it was MagSafe, it just popped right out. So I got back on stage to do the gig, and I hit a key, and nothing happened. It had run out of
Oh,
battery.
your Mac died.
It really died. I mean, died hard. It wasn't asleep. It had needed a
Yeah.
reboot. It just, oh my gosh. Do you know how embarrassing that was? I hope you'd never experienced this.
So you just had to sit there while it did its thing.
Yes, basically.
So
So
is it just
ever
singer just
since
goes out
I
and
just,
keyboard player laptop's gone?
well, luckily it was a big band, so they started the track without me. If it was just me and the singer, well, we would have had a bit of that problem.
Ah.
But I never ever want to experience
Yeah, in
that
other
again.
words, if it was me and Liv,
Oh man, you
Yeah,
just have to
well,
tell
that's all right.
jokes.
Awkward.
you're the responsible one, so
Turn into a stand-up comic or something.
Oh yeah, you're very good
Yeah.
at that. You're very good at that.
we can do that between us.
Why not? Tell blind stories.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, you've done a
Once
lot of
upon a time,
covers,
there was
and
a
I
blind,
think you're
the giant.
the blind, the giant. You've done a lot of covers on the channel, and I would like to request, and I think users will eventually, that we start hearing some original material, man, because that's that's what people
Oh
want
yeah,
to hear.
we
We
will.
certainly will be putting that out hopefully very soon. Hopefully.
So one of
There
you
were
must
nearly
therefore
5
write
songs,
your own lyrics.
but-
Ooh,
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, we both already have. We're both already sort of playing around with that, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. We've both been doing that.
nice.
So that's good.
Yeah, hers are very good. Mine aren't.
And so we are.
So
Oh,
there
here
is
we
that.
go again, criticising yourself.
You shouldn't, I know it's hard sometimes, but you have to have some confidence in your ability.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll make him see sense.
Yeah.
You know you can play, otherwise people wouldn't even bother listening. So, they do
That's
care.
true.
They're interested.
That is true.
And this is a factoid, man. It's a factoid.
Well, you can
Consider
see some more with the music hopefully coming soon. At least one coming out. I'm going to say in the next month or two.
Yep.
And then I have to finish
Yeah,
it. Because Liv's
I'd
done
like to
all
say
her
that.
bits. So Liv's done... Liv, Liv's done her bits. So it's all me, basically, now.
Well, you better get on with it then, ain't you, hey? You better sort it out, mate. Come on. What
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah. Yeah,
Hanging
better
about
do.
playing the
I'm
giant, being a
gonna
lazy
do it.
sod. What are you doing?
The giant isn't in this one either. Which is
No.
a shame.
No.
Is it the gentleman?
No, it's Elise's keys, funnily enough.
Ah. Do you always use the same preset? Because of course I like
Spoiler
Alicia's
alert.
keys, by the way. I should say that. I tend to play myself the, I think it's the Audience Big Hall, because the reverb on that is just gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I like reverb.
I normally use just the Init. I normally just use the Init preset, but I might actually switch it out for the one of the like the Hall one or the auditorium one or something, because you might just add a bit of niceness to it, 'cause it's a bit dry at the moment. So
Well, it helps, you
I
know?
might do that. But no, it's Elise's keys, and also a spoiler alert. It also features Session Strings Pro 2 and Rising Hit and a thing. Oh, Agile Synthesis from Logic. There we go.
Yeah. So what other things do you think I should ask you? Because I feel like I might have exhausted all my... But it's just because I'm tired. It's not because I don't care. But are there any other things you want to tell the listeners? Not the giant, but the listeners. Very important here.
Not the giant.
No.
Liv?
Tell them anything. Your deepest,
I hope you enjoy
darkest
listening to
secret.
us. All I will say is I hope you enjoy listening
I hope
to
you
us.
like us as well.
I hope you sort of found this
Yeah.
interesting, finding out about us in general, and yeah, happy listening, people.
I think that's
And
a good
also
thing.
stay safe and well
Check it out.
during this time. Stay safe and take care.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so pretty.
And if you're stuck for
Okay.
things to do, go and download The Giant. and
Oh,
play
I
with
didn't
it.
actually see that
So
coming, to be fair. I didn't
What
see
did you
that
do?
coming. You got me. That's amazing. But there's actually...
Yeah, well, I mean,
bedroom producers have so much choice these days. I mean, when I started music really seriously, I was using a non-talking keyboard, all hardware, and it took about as
Oh, we
long
all
to
did, didn't we?
quantize the track than it did to play the track. So if I hit the wrong quantize, because it was, menu clicks and press that 5 times and press enter type deal, then I would just have to undo it.
oh dear.
Was there even an undo? I think there was one undo. One level of undo. It was a pain. It was a pain. I hated it. But you know what? I've still
That
got all
sounds
those
painful.
old tracks in the 90s. I've still got them. And again, time capsule. So, yeah.
What's an example of a track that was made on that keyboard?
An example of a track that was made on that keyboard is on one of my albums called Throughout the Years, and it's the first track called Costly. And that was made, sequenced on hardware, but I re-rendered it with Korg X5DR, which is about the same time period of the track when it was made, which is why I used it. I didn't use modern sounds to render it, I used old sounds.
So now, when we hear that track, we can all take a minute to remember onto a hopefully quantizing something
Properly.
over the course of the track. So when you put the track on, imagine on you're pressing the buttons 5 times and pressing enter,
Yeah.
and hoping for the best, and hoping that I'll only have to press undo once.
Or the thing is, you could almost go shopping and come back the time it took to do anything. And it was an old machine. I mean, you saved on 720k floppy disks. Floppy disks. Most of you probably
know
don't
what
even
they
know
are,
what
like.
that even is, which is a scary thought, and it shows
Isn't
my
like a really
age.
old-fashioned CD.
Well, it was a
Like a really
1.44
old-fashioned,
megabyte
cassette player or
CD,
something.
if you will.
Wow, really?
Tiny. Actually, well, 720
0.44
kilobytes.
meg.
There were 2 types. There was the high density, which is 1.4 megs, and the low density, which was 720 kilobytes. So 720 kilobytes,
Wow.
all you stored on that
Wow.
was MIDI files, some texts. Didn't do a lot, you know?
Yeah, wow.
I can't believe.
I don't know how you would get any audio onto there.
Well, because it's MIDI, you don't put audio on it. When you visit me, and you will at some point,
Yeah,
I will
exactly.
show you a USB floppy drive and a floppy disk to go with it. I still have a working one, yes.
A single working floppy disk has survived.
I do. I have a single one. I don't know whether
He
anymore.
had all of his creations on it,
Yeah, my whole life is on a single floppy. That would be kind of interesting if I could
backed
do that.
up.
But it's actually in 2003 or 2 when I bought my then laptop with student loans. Oh my God, student loans! Don't get into debt with student loans ever.
Ooh.
But
You've
this
got to love student loans.
it came with a USB floppy drive.
Woohoo.
Yeah, I know. That was my thinking as well at the time. Like, they were already being phased out, but this laptop came with a USB floppy drive, of all things. It's really bizarre.
I mean,
Now-
it's helpful, I suppose.
Kind of. It was cute. By the way, I did hook up one of those to an Android tablet for a laugh once, and it worked.
Oh, did
I've
it?
got an Android tablet.
Modern meet
I'll
old
pull it
school.
out.
You can do it.
Oh. And it worked.
But I'm going to tell you something
I
very,
feel like that
very
probably wouldn't happen
important.
with iOS.
Something very, very important. You cannot fit a copy of The Giant on a floppy disk.
Oh, really?
Oh,
What
really?
a shame. How
What a
many
shame.
floppy disks would it take? I think several hundred.
Okay, hold on. Now you've got me actually curious about
You're going to
this.
work it out now, aren't you?
The Giant library, according to
Andre,
the
now doing
folder
some
size,
maths.
is 4.01 gigabytes. And if a floppy disk is, say, 1.44 megabytes, and there are, 1024 gigabytes in a
4.1 gig.
megabyte, so you're looking at what, like 40,000 disks, I think? Or 4,000?
Whoa.
4,000? 4,000? I think so. 4,000 something disks.
Wow.
Yeah, not 40,000. 4,000 something disks.
I mean,
Please
brilliant.
insert
I mean,
disk
it's still a
722.
crap load.
Bad sector. This is not going to extract. Start again. And then you rip out your non-existent hair. That's going to go well, isn't it? Basically, please don't store
Yeah.
your software instruments on disks, okay? Just don't do that.
No, not recommended.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to play it and then realise, actually, no, this isn't the right sound for the job, I've got to uninstall all the files that I've done.
Can you imagine loading a sound off of a disk? Tick. If you don't, you need to know
And
how
then go,
slow
no, I
these
don't like
were.
it.
Okay, you need to go on YouTube because you're so young, you young people. Actually, I don't think the listeners ever did find out how old you guys were, so let us know. Because I think we might be surprised.
Liv?
I'm 19. I turned 19 in January. So, yeah.
Wow.
I will turn 19 in September.
Yikes.
Very good to know.
You lot are so young, it scares me.
And
I
I'm
am.
also a student as well.
You're too young.
I will be a student when unis are allowed to open. I will be a student. I will be doing music production at Leeds Beckett.
Excuse me, sir, you're not quite allowed to open yet. Please close your doors again, thank you very much. Yeah. It's kind of a bit like that at the moment.
That's how I see it. Yeah, that's what happens, right?
Yes.
You know, some young
Not
person
far
comes
off,
in,
to
opens
be
the door, and someone else goes, "No, close it.
Shut that door.
Not now.
Not now. Try next year.
Not now.
It does seem a bit like that.
Go back to the floppy disks."
Oh, don't. So you've got to go on YouTube and you've got to hear how long it takes to load even a small file off a floppy disk. Because, of course, the technology was a lot older and things took a lot longer. You thought your mechanical hard drive was slow. Try a floppy. That should be an advert for them.
Oh.
It's not, but it should be.
Yeah.
A reverse advert.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we both have solid states because we, live. What have you got? You've got a passport, right?
I've got a terabyte passport, which I got a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
Um,
I have
and
a
I've never looked back. 'cause it's
terabyte or
really
2
good
terabyte.
device.
It's a funny statement, okay? Because
Yeah.
when you say you've got a terabyte passport, if you said that in the 90s, someone would probably look at you as if you had a monster in your bag. It's a bit weird.
Terabyte passport didn't exist back then, I'm assuming.
A terabyte passport. Is it called a passport go? Is that what it's called?
Passport, I think
Passport.
so. WD's hard
WDs.
drive, they're never good.
Something along those
I'm trying to
lines.
think,
But
right?
it's a hard drive anyway.
A terabyte's quite big. Well, it's not, but it is, right? The first drive I ever bought that was a decent size was 45 gigabytes, and that was in 2001. And I paid £130 for that drive in 2001. That's a little bit ridiculous now,
Wow.
because £130 would probably get me a 4 or
is.
5 terabyte drive in 2020. Think about that.
Yeah,
Technology has come a very long way,
that is strange.
and that's nuts.
Technology's wonderful, isn't it? I mean, Native Instruments and The Giant.
The giant.
now I
Think
think
about all
we
the
can
things that
access
you
those
can do
visually
now
impaired
that you
people.
have a working Mac and Logic that you couldn't do with the iPad. And just, marvel at tech.
course.
You have to kind of marvel
Yeah.
at tech in general because we all use it. Even those of us who hate it, you're still using it, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to or watching this one. So just shush now, okay? But tech is truly wondrous, and I think we, at this time especially now, need to be grateful for what it's allowing us to do. And that's communicate with friends and family, listen to music, listen to Louis and Liv. And that's the greatest thing we have.
Well, listening to Louis and Liv is the greatest thing we have, or tech is the greatest thing we have.
My diplomatic answer is to say you choose. But
No,
yeah,
I'd say tech. Listening to Liv's singing voice is the greatest thing we have.
there you go. That's
Listen
a nice,
to Louis'
that's a
keyboard
nice
playing is
statement.
the best thing we ever have.
And couples in love is even better, he says, as a married man. See? It's all
Yes.
good. It's all good.
Well
Very
done,
nice.
us.
But I hope that you found this somewhat interesting, and I'm sure the listeners will too. And it's good to have you on the show, as it were.
Thank you very
And
much. guys.
last thoughts, if
I
you
really
have any.
enjoyed it.
I mean,
Yeah, it's been
when I
great.
say last thoughts, it actually scares me because I think of all the pubs that said last orders and they've never opened their doors again. Tragic. Isn't it?
Literally.
Well, yeah.
Liv, I'll let you start with last thoughts.
I don't think I have any, to be honest. I'll let you know. I hope you found it interesting. I really found it interesting, and hopefully we can, do something like this again.
We can.
Follow us on social media,
Yeah.
listen to our videos.
Tell them
All
it.
good.
I mean, I know
I would
that
like
you've said
to-
it before, but, people often skim forward through these things. So tell them all again where they're going to find you, how they're going to find you, and how to spell the giant. I mean, how to spell Louis and Liv.
I'll let
Some
you
people
do
need
this,
Louis
Louis.
spelling to them, genuinely.
Well, they do, yeah.
I'll let you do it for that reason.
So I'm going to spell it out for you. Louis. Liv-music. Spelled Louis Liv Music. If you put an
Twitter
at
with the
sign
at sign.
before Louis Liv Music, if you put the at sign there, and then put that into your social media platform of choice, you will find us.
Yes. And
Well, to be
soon,
fair, the Facebook page is Louis and Liv Music.
Louis Liv Music.
Yeah, but you'll see that. You'll find it.
Am I right in thinking as well, you've actually released something on DistroKid? So on all the platforms as well. Did you release one thing there? Or was
We
I...
will be.
You will be, okay.
We will be.
Well, it's
That's
very
why the
possible
original
that by the
stuff's gonna
time
go
you have heard this,
eventually.
by the time you hear this, they may have done it. Who knows? Only time will tell.
Who knows? Depends when
When
you
is it
listen.
going to be edited and released? They're going to edit it. Not now.
Yes, I'm doing it right now, and it's going to go
up.
up tonight. I don't wait on these things. I liked because it's good to have
Oh,
content going
okay.
up right away. I don't sit on something for 76 weeks because by that time lockdown might be over, and the world might be a very different place, and YouTube might not even exist.
We're still in lockdown. No, we're not.
No, exactly, and it's poignant and it's timely. So by the time people hear this, particularly if you're
Yeah.
waking up in Hawaii, it should still be April 20th, 2020, and I shall be probably tucked up in bed. But yes, Louis and Liv Music on
we
the
will
show.
be too.
What a great show, and
Thank you very much,
we will do
Ian.
it again because my plan is if I can, is artist spotlight time capsule. So maybe 12 months later we'll do a part 2, or 24 months later, and we'll see what you've been up to. I suspect one of you will have moved house,
Yeah.
gone to uni, gone through a couple of years of hard graft, mate. That kind of deal.
I'll be my second year.
I've gone through many years of using the giant.
Well done. Well done. Liv, you haven't got it in a sentence yet. Come on, you've got to round this. You've got to round it all off here.
Sorry, what were you saying?
You haven't managed to get that in a sentence yet. You've got to round it all off for us here. It's very important, you see.
That in a sentence. And what
The
do you mean by
giant.
that exactly?
You've got to get the giant in a sentence.
Get the giant.
Follow at the giant on social medias. Goodbye.
That wouldn't be you. That wouldn't be you. We're talking about Louis Liv Music.
Somebody got it somewhere.
Someone's got it somewhere. Although I should ask
Yeah, have a
actually,
look on Twitter.
do you have a uniform logo that you guys use on things? Because I know that there are sighted people among us that will look out for a specific type thing. When I do artwork, when I upload out artwork for things, I sort of have different things, but I try to keep it sort of a bit me-ish.
No, was the honest answer.
No, we don't have
a
one.
logo. But
We don't have any
That's what
visuals,
we
and that's
work
purely
on.
because it's just... Yeah, we should work on it, and it's only because we're both blind, and we just us that kind of does it, because we're stubborn.
Oh,
and
no,
don't
that's
want
fine.
sighted people involved.
Yeah, no, we've got to have the sighted people involved. We can't live without those. You know, they're very important. Well, at least they've got to feel like they are.
Yeah. We need to talk to them sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Well, we've come to that time where we say thank you for listening, and I wish you all very well
much.
under your lockdown experiences. Listen to this as we fade away from Louis, Liv music, and
Thank you very
beg
much.
pardon, the giant. Good night, good day, have a wonderful, wonderful
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Goodbye,
rest
everyone. Thank you very much for
of your
listening.
time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too. Oh, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Oh, take my hand, take my whole life too. Oh, for I can't help falling in love with you. Oh, for I can't help falling in love with you.
Hello Louis, hello Liv, it's Capaldi here. Saw your cover of Lost on You. It's brilliant, thank you very much for doing it. And please keep covering my songs because it means the world. So, I'll see you in a bit.